Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the pyre. VioletPyre here, and today we are back for a new speed build time lapse. I won't take much of your time, but just say it's a random thing I've seen on YouTube recently, and it did take a lot of attention. I wanted to build something but didn't know what, so that's what I did today. Let's go. So first, I've started with the feed, which honestly I think was stupid, because I had no sense of scale, no positioning. But for some reason I didn't make it work first try. But honestly, I don't think I should do that again. I should start from the torso or the head. But other than that, I mean, it didn't work, so I just moved on. Now, I did start to make the body here, and honestly it was a bit weird. Because it's like a cylinder, but it has a bit of a shape too, but that's done like way later. I've just labeled the base of the body just to have an idea, and that way I just can work a bit more with it to make it more finalized in the end. I did start here to work a bit more on the colors that the body has, and that already by itself made so much progress on its own. It made it more recognizable, and honestly, it just projects me in the future to tell me, okay, it's coming along, you know? So I'm really happy. Also for the hands, I'm quite surprised because they do look good. I mean, I am the worst when it comes to doing hands, and that's in anything. In drawing or building, it's the worst step I have to do. But when it's so that precise scaling, it does work every time. But from here, I started to make a hat. And also, before making the hat, I had to make the face. But I've had some I've had a technical issue, which was forgetting to resume your time lapse. So I made the face while the time lapse was paused, and honestly I was way too lazy to just take down the face and make it up again, because I thought it was really looking good and I didn't want to lose it or anything. So I kept it like that. I will come around in the end to finish it off a bit more, because I did think it was way too round. I needed to just rearrange a bit of the face, and the hair was the hardest part by far. Everything was quite like coming along by itself, but the hat took me so long to figure out, because just this hat has such a weird shape, and that weird shape was so hard to do. And I think I had to take down the hat 2 times total, and the third time I think I just pushed it with welded, and I managed to make it work. But honestly, that's a good example of when it doesn't work the first time, just be persistent and it'll work eventually. And see that I just pushed it with welded, I mirrored it, and it looked good. So I just blended it a bit so it doesn't look as harsh. I think on the sides it does still look a bit weird, and on the back I think I did work around a bit, because it looked, as you did see just a second ago, it was a bit weird. And just here, that's what I meant. I did do the shapes of the body here. I changed the face up, and honestly that works way better that way. Just with that tiny layer off, it did so much progress on its own. And honestly, I'm glad I thought about it. And just here I wanted to thicken a bit the arms and legs, because I thought the just 1 block sticks were a bit off. And now I think it's way better, because it's so like smooth. So it makes sense. It doesn't look too much out of scale anymore. And I think here there was pretty much everything. So I just started to make the texture for the hat, and just turned the template blocks into the real blocks. And that's the real colors. And honestly, it looks way cooler once it's all in its former glory. So I changed also the blush. I didn't put red concrete because it was way too red. Instead, I think it was pink terracotta. And perfect. Honestly, I had nothing to say. And instead of leaving it that way, I did decide to do that tiny higher step. I put on some more like color shading with the concrete and wool to make a bit of changing colors, because I thought it was way too one colory, as I call it. So instead of having just 3 flat colors, I just made it double, essentially. And honestly, that alone too made it way better, I think. Because as much as the design has like one color everywhere, I prefer this because it's subtle, but it also goes to show on how much it can make a difference. And that's the final spin of the build, and everything is done. It's over. Well, anyways, I do hope you liked the build and how I rendered it. Honestly, I think it's quite good. I'm quite surprised of my performance, even though I didn't know much of any of those characters or anything. It has quite a simple design, honestly. It's a couple of sphere here and there and some couple lines. So it wasn't too much of a hassle to do. I did, I think, under just a bit under 2 hours. So it's not the slowest thing to build on Earth, but anyway, I really think I outdid myself. And honestly, I invite you to tell me in the comments what you think of this, and maybe what could I've improved. Honestly, I don't think much, except maybe the scale, because I had really limited space to work with. So I think that's one mistake I've done, but other than that, I'm really happy. Well, anyway, it was Violet, and if you like the video, you can like it, subscribe to support the channel, and until we meet again.